Good morning and welcome to Coffee and the Word. I have, according to statistics, about 8 seconds to grab your attention. I've probably already lost it. The average attention span right now is 8 seconds. In 2000, it was 12 seconds. And what that really means is we have between 8 and 12 seconds of our focus before it's gone, like before we've moved on to something else. And no wonder we're super highly stimulated in today's world. We have social media and we have news and we have news reports that pop up on our phone and we have all kinds of things that happen. And so we find ourselves constantly being distracted and pulled and dare I suggest, our stress levels are at an all-time high right now. And then you add on top of that an already normal stress level during the Christmas holidays, and we're on extreme edge right now. And so I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about that, because I think one of the things that we're most likely to be distracted from is God. In fact, it happens very early, even in the beginning. You know, in Genesis chapter 2, we have the man and woman who are just in beautiful relationship with God, and for just a moment they get distracted by the serpent, and they're interested in what the serpent has to say, and they fix their eyes not on what God and who God is, but they fix their eyes on that immediate circumstance, and they find themselves, well, basically destroying everything. And it really does happen that fast, doesn't it? It just, bam, just like that, things change. And so I think about all that we have in our lives going on right now. I know some of you are focused on maybe a doctor's report you just got. Some of you are focused on a job report you just got. Some of you are focused on your financial situation. There are lots of things that just grab our attention. And what's crazy is we really believe that if we could just spend more time focusing on one thing instead of being pulled by so many different things and then worrying about the things we can't control, it's exhausting. And I know some of you are extremely exhausted. I want to read a verse to you that I think it's a verse that is easy to hear, hard to apply. And it's Proverbs 4 verse 25. It says this: Let your eyes look straight ahead, fix your gaze directly before you. Let your eyes look straight ahead, fix your gaze directly before you. Most of the time, the pitfalls that we find ourselves in, and the struggles and the emotional tension that we run through, is a direct result of us constantly looking around for all of the things and all of the struggles and all of the troubles. And as we come into the Christmas season, there's even more things that we have to focus on and that are pulling at our attention. And our attention span right now, according to studies, is less than that of a goldfish. How many of you remember Finding Dory? Right? The attention span of a goldfish is said to be 9 seconds. Ours is said to be 8 seconds. And part of the problem is we are constantly stimulated from some other source. But I'm telling you, the one thing that usually gets yanked from us first is our focus on Jesus and what he's done. In fact, there's a story in the Bible about a guy named Peter. And Peter and his disciples are all in a boat and they're rowing across the sea, and Jesus comes walking up. And as Jesus comes walking up, Peter sees Jesus walking on the water, and he says, Can I do that? I want to do that. And so Peter gets out of the boat, and he's literally walking on water even as Jesus does. He's doing something amazing until he gets distracted, until his attention span is drawn to something else, until he starts to notice that I am walking on water, but there are waves and there is wind and there is, it's water. And so he starts focusing on all the things around him. And the scripture says he begins to sink. And it's interesting because when he begins to sink, he's looking at all of the things around him. But as he gets into crisis, he looks back up at Jesus and he says, "Save me." And Jesus reaches out and saves him. Doesn't that feel like your experience? Like you're going along and God's doing amazing things with you, and you get distracted and you get distracted and you get focused on this and you get focused on that, and then you just feel like you're sinking into a pit of despair. The difference between us and Peter is some of us don't remember to look straight ahead again, to fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. We forget where our focus lies. We forget to look straight ahead. And so we end up doggy paddling and flailing about, and we don't feel like we're getting anywhere because we're sinking. Maybe it's time we fix our eyes straight ahead. Fix our gaze directly before us. Just handle the next thing and keep your focus on what God is doing. And stop worrying so much about what everything else is happening around you. You'll be amazed at how much peace there is when you stay focused on what's ahead instead of all the distractions that's around you. I know that there's a lot on people's plates, but you're not going to get to your destination by going 40 different directions. Focus straight ahead. Anyway, that's today's Coffee and the Word. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Sorry about yesterday. This has been another edition of Coffee and the Word. God bless.